At the Global Startup Center, we support the Korea Startup Great Challenge. It's an annual program open to foreigners, and you can prospect the country almost for zero cost because you have money support from the government.
What are some of the popular industries that a lot of these big companies are often looking?
We say advanced materials, as we are in the country of semiconductors, everything that can help to improve the semiconductors ecosystem. In Korea, if Korea doesn't know how to do it, or if you do it better, or if you do it faster, okay, come.
Hello, Clement.
Hello, Mungfei.
Thank you so much for joining my podcast today. Clement, you are currently working at the Global Startup Center in Seoul, Korea as the Chief Partner Officer. But before we kind of dive into what Global Startup Center is, I'd love to learn a little bit about your background and who you are and where you come from and how you landed in Korea.
Okay, how long time do we have? As you can see, and can you hear my accent? I'm French citizens, born in France, but raised in a multicultural experience because my father is SMEs, grew up in France, but I lived more than 12 years in Brazil. My wife is Brazilian, but my son is French-Brazilian, born in Korea. So yes, I'm a global citizen.
Definitely a global citizen there.
My major is geography and politics. My job here at the Global Startup Center is to support startups. But each time they ask me, you have IT background or engineering background? No, geography. And geography, I think, is the best because we need to understand a bit of everything and to still have to be open-minded.
And what were you doing prior to the Global Startup Center? Where were you working? And how did you kind of land in Korea and decide to take on this job?
I'm here in Korea since 2.5 years. At the beginning, this project indeed is a cooperation between France and Korea about startup ecosystem. I'm paid by the French Ministry of Foreign Affairs, but the Korean government borrowed me from the French government. I'm kind of consultant for the Korean government through KISED, Korean Institute for Startup Entrepreneurship Development. And my job is to advise them about global startup policy, about how to support Korean startup to go abroad during big exhibitions like CES, Mobile World Congress, Vivatech, and so on. And also how to catch talent, foreign entrepreneurs to come to Korea, and we decided to make it in Korea. And we host them at the Global Startup Center.
And what is the Global Startup Center? What is your mission?
At the Global Startup Center, first, it's a place. Everyone can join. We're open from Monday to Friday, from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Everyone is welcome. If you want to stay 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, it's open. But when we create the project with the ministry, I told them, okay, you have in mind Station F. Station F is very cool. Big startup campus in Paris, 1,000 startups, many incubators, many accelerators, VCs, and so on. And I told them, let's catch the same ideas. So I tried to reply the Station F experience here at the center. So we organize workshops. Once it was about K-beauty startup. Another one, it was about how to patent, for instance. But in addition to be just a co-working space, the services are visa support. We have someone here from the Ministry of Justice who can help you for the visa. We have also business registration support. Also, any kind of support like opening a bank account. We invite VCs to roast the startups and to get feedback from the VCs to be prepared the D-Day. We try also to create synergies. We try to organize also gathering events and so on. So don't hesitate to follow us on the LinkedIn to see what we do, what we are going to offer the following weeks and the seminars and so on. And always it's free.
That's awesome. It seems like the main target demographic for the GSC, the Global Startup Center, is for foreigners, specifically foreign entrepreneurs. Is that correct?
Exactly. It's for foreign entrepreneurs because my boss at the ministry told me, look, we have in the world many unicorn founded by foreigners. So they want like, okay, we are Korea, we are a vibrant, dynamic startup ecosystem. We want also to catch talent. And we understand that here you start a startup and then you became a scale-up and then a scale-up a unicorn. So we have to open to foreigners. And my job is to support the soft landing of foreign entrepreneurs from everywhere in the world to come in Korea.
Can you talk a little bit more about what is the attraction factor for the Korean startup ecosystem now? What makes the Korean startup ecosystem so vibrant and dynamic? And why should foreigners go to Korea to start their startup?
First, I would say the startup culture. It's quite new. We're in Korea. We have a huge culture of the chaebol, the big conglomerate like Samsung, Hyundai, LG, and so on. So they try to give space for startups to grow and became also a big company. So they have this culture of entrepreneurship first. Secondly, the Korean government, first they have a ministry of startups. It's quite new. Each time I present the GSC to students or to startups, we say, yes, in Korea we have a ministry of startups. It's not common indeed, and we have it since 2013. And whatever the political side, left or right, we still have this ministry. And this ministry has many agencies to support startups. Foreign entrepreneurs coming to Korea, but also Korean entrepreneurs going abroad. Also in Korea, each ministry has its own startup agency. I mean, on the same model of in the USA, you have the DAPA for the Ministry of Defense. They have the same here. For the Ministry of Culture, they have KOCCA, KOCCA. For the Ministry of Agriculture, they have the COAT. So they have this culture. And the third one is, of course, many startups are interested to collaborate big groups, like groups like Samsung, Hyundai, LG, and those big guys, indeed, they organize oftenly open innovation programs. So that's why also it's interesting. You have to come to Korea sometimes to understand the ecosystem and say, look, there's indeed many opportunities for me. But it's not easy. It's not easy for a foreigner to catch investment. But once you are already kind of Series A, I think Korea is a very good country for you. Because they are very also tech consumer. And they have sandbox culture also. And they have a special law for sandbox. So you can practice, you can try. It's innovative friendly country. That's what I would say.
You brought up so many interesting points there. The first one I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into is open innovation. What is open innovation by the chaebol companies? And can you also talk a little bit more about consumer tech within Korea?
About open innovation, so you have each time for the chaebols two strategies. One oriented to the Korean market, like, okay, guys from universities, you have an idea, you don't have a patent yet, so come and let's see what we can do with your ideas. And the other side, okay, we are global companies. We understand that Korean ideas is maybe not enough, or Korean ideas don't fit in other countries. So let's see what the others can have as ideas. One famous open innovation program, I would say, it's the Hyundai 01. Very interesting for all mobility. They're working on the softwareization, as a new word, softwareization of the vehicle, new mobility. Very interesting. You have companies like LG also working on the energy transition, how to have better energy consumption. And as I said, no need to be in Korea, but if you work with those guys, one day you will need to be in Korea. To get closer, because sometimes we have the culture of pali in Korea, like a fast, because we have very fast people. When the decision is taken, you have to go fast.
So my understanding is that open innovation are kind of programs that a lot of the large businesses and like SK or LG will put out so that they can collaborate with startups, both domestically and also internationally, to develop technologies in different industries from energy to autonomous driving. And so for startups who want to collaborate with the Korean ecosystem, one way is for them to do it through open innovation and kind of seeing what are the types of technologies that these big chaebol companies are looking for. And so outside of autonomous driving and energy, what are some of the popular industries that are within Korea or that a lot of these open innovations or big companies are often looking for?
We say advanced materials also. As we are in the country of semiconductors, everything that can help to improve the semiconductors ecosystem. I have a Swedish company that came here for a KISED program, so inbound foreigner coming to Korea, that helps to improve the quality of the water treatment for semiconductor production. It's very niche, very specific, but okay. In Korea, if Korea doesn't know how to do it, or if you do it better, or if you do it faster, okay, come. If not, they are capable to do everything, almost everything. But as I say, if you do it better, faster, welcome to Korea. You can have a seat.
It's like really thinking about what are the industries that are very prevalent in Korea, which includes the car industry and the hardware semiconductor industry. So a lot of the technologies that are more successful within Korea from a startup level are often the ones that complement a lot of these technologies as well, right?
To complement, it's the word. Is okay, if you're a foreign entrepreneur, you want to come to Korea, what's your solution complement? And I always say, as not only for Korea, but whatever country, don't come in Korea or whatever country without a pre-research. Okay, I saw something interesting in Korea. Let's check if it's worth it. Because too many times I saw startup tourists and you're wasting your time, your energy, and your money. So each time I explain to French entrepreneurs, okay, if you come to Korea, because it's worth it. If not, you travel 14 hours for nothing. So think first.
And in the many startups that the Global Startup Center has advised and assisted, what have you kind of seen as the characteristics of startups that are able to really thrive in Korea? Foreign startups that are able to really thrive in Korea?
We opened only 7 months ago, so it's complicated for me to answer. But I would say the recipe is, yes, if you have a solution to support your Korean partner to go abroad and to help them to see Korea as a hub, for instance, for ASEAN, for the ASEAN region, like I see many startups, okay, indeed my market is not so much Korea, but from Korea I can prospect Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines, and now Japan. Before, it's interesting because I saw the change. Before, you are a big company, you have your headquarters in Japan and you prospect Korea, and now you have your office in Korea and you can prospect Japan. But also, of course, it's more question of methods of to be prepared or not, because I see so many times, sorry guys, shitty presentations. They don't work enough on their presentation. Oh, it's too long. Oh, it's techie. Because think first, you will explain your project to people that are not techie. For instance, many people from VCs, they are from finance sector, they are from economics, they are from sectors that are not yours. So you have to have this talent to explain it easily. So also one of the advice is improve your presentation.
Yeah, your pitch deck and the articulation in your presentation of your product and your company is really important as well.
Exactly. And whatever nationality. Here at the center, we have more than maybe 60 nationalities.
Wow.
People from Indonesia, from Vietnam, USA, Europe. And I can see the same difficulty sometimes to reach the right partner here in Korea because, well, first they are foreigner and the presentation is not so good sometimes. Or, okay, we didn't understood well your product. So we implement this kind of workshop here at the GSC to help the startups to have all the keys and to be successful.
For startups that are, for example, already fairly successful in another market, whether it's the US market or the Singapore market or the Japanese market, if they want to now internationally expand to Korea, how do they do that? And how do they leverage the resources at GSC if they already have an established entity in a foreign country?
In Korea, you need to have someone who can speak Korean, because I can see even it's well connected. Many people, you can see K-pop singers singing in English, amazing. English is not so common here in Korea, even for the young people. So first, hire a Korean guy who can speak English too, because it will be kind of middle field to support the Korean client or to prospect Korean client, but also to explain you properly and not using Google Translate to explain you what he's doing. The second thing is, okay, everything is in Seoul. Seoul is half of the Korean population. So all the ecosystem is in Seoul. Investors, VCs, LPs, business angels, governmental structure, and so on. The third one will be check what kind of support you can apply for, you can join. Here in Korea, you have many startup programs, one from the Seoul Metropolitan Government, another one from the Gyeonggi-do province, which is the provincial one, and one at the ministry level. So check what kind of program you can join. And here at the KISED, we support the Korea Startup Grand Challenge. It's an annual program open to foreigners, and you can prospect the country almost for zero cost, because you have money support from the government to prospect the country during 3 months. So at least, okay, you will have an answer after 3 months. Korea is made for me or not. And then, okay, I prospected, I have my fees covered. You receive 3 million won-ish per month to cover your cost living and so on. You have also interns to help you to adapt your presentation in Korean, to send an email in Korean to potential clients. So, and after you say, okay, is it for me or not? Should I go? Should I stop?
The Global Innovation Program, it's almost like an accelerator program then that's sponsored by the Korean government for startups to go and stay in Korea for 3 months. And then they can figure out if the Korean market is a good fit for them with resources provided by the Korean government.
They have all the support because, for instance, the KGC, so the Korea Startup Grand Challenge, it will be open in June. The applications will open in June. Last year, we have 1,700 applications from all around the world, from Morocco to Bangladesh, from Sweden to Brazil, Mexico, everywhere. So everyone can apply. There's no geographical restriction like now we want only American people from Silicon Valley. No. Everyone can apply. But we only have 40 seats, 40. So it's fighting. You have to have the best of the best of the best.
What are advice that you have for people who are interested in applying for the program?
First, if you have a good presentation, so what is a good presentation? If you're a startup, show it to everyone who is not in your sector to be sure that everyone understood your product, your solution, or your business model. The second thing is, are you matching or not with the Korean ecosystem? And third, is the CEO reliable? Are you reliable? Are you giving 200% for this journey? And it's also the third point, most important, have a German startup here, AI Music, and the AC that picked them told me, I picked them because we have the 3 co-founders for this project, and I'm sure that they are 100% engaged in this project. They are focused on to make it here in Korea. So also it's you indeed the the key. Good presentation, tech that can match. As I said, no need to recreate the wheel. We have a lot of things here in Korea, so check what match with Korea, and also how are you ready to give to this journey?
That's like much of the discourse that we hear in Silicon Valley as well is they're really investing in who the founder is and their determination, resilience, and grit to get their
Yes,
product
resilience
here.
is the key because we know there's so many up and down, and I don't know, maybe today it doesn't work. You came back in 3 years. Yes, it's time. You're ready. Your mindset is ready to hear critics or to hear some changes or to hear, yes, you're the one now. It's your turn.
I want to take a transition to kind of the work that you are doing within the Korea and French community as well. I know you're very involved in that community. Can you talk a little bit about the French community within Korea and the partnerships that are currently happening between Korea and the French government?
So I say I'm a bridge builder. My job is to build a bridge between France and Korea ecosystem. I remember the former president of the institute here. He told me, I don't understand you French guys. I go to CES, the first thing I see is the French Tech flag. I go to Web Summit, French Tech, Slush, French Tech. How are you guys, a country that produce wine, fancy purse, and perfume, and croissant, are you doing tech? You're not a tech country. And I told them, yes, we are a tech country. Look, the system for 6G and connectivity by satellites is made by French companies. Inside your iPhone 16, you have some elements from Soitec as a French semiconductor company. You have the SIM card, French invention. So we have many things to bridge and to bring. And also we start at the same time our journey. I mean, as mentioned, the Ministry of Startups has been created in 2013, and La Mission French Tech, which is the flag that gathers all energy of the French ecosystem, have been created at that time too. And we have many policies, both like Korea and France, to support the startups. We have the same needs. I mean, now we are focusing on startups, deep tech, of course, but also industrial startups, like how startup can support innovation of big industrial companies. It's the same issue, both sides. And also, it's a long history of cooperation. Next year, it will be the 140 years anniversary of French-Korean cooperation, friendship. And it's also one of the sector we can collaborate because we have a Korea Startup Center in Paris, at Station F. So it's a center place that Korean startup can use for 3 to 6 months. We have the headquarters of Naver Europe in Paris. Naver is the Korean Google. We have semiconductor industry too. So yes, we have many paths of collaboration. For instance, the KISED University, which is the Korean MIT for your American audience. The president of KISED studied in France, for instance, a long time ago. So in aeronautics, I say we have many paths of collaboration because now Korea start a space program, and France has a long knowledge on this sector. Nuclear too. We have also about health. We have a Pasteur Institute in Korea. So we have many bridges already, and reinforcing the one that have been built by my former colleague, Jonathan, to reinforce this collaboration about startups because, yes, we have indeed the same needs.
Yeah, Clement, you take on the role as a bridge between the Korean and French startup ecosystem, but also between now as the chief partner officer, the Korean ecosystem and the broader foreign ecosystem within startups. As the chief partner officer, what is your job and what do you do?
I'm still figuring it out.
It's a startup in itself.
Yes, because in the morning I check the coffee garbage and then I negotiate some partnership with big tech guys. And at the end of the afternoon, I'm negotiating with VC to come to explain. Next week, we have also another patent workshop with WIPO, which is the UN agency for the patent. So they come here to explain in English how to patent. So my job also is to gather all the partners, the stakeholders, to arrive to a consensus of, okay, the topic is that we have foreign entrepreneurs interested to patent here in Korea. They don't speak Korean. They need your support, guys, to register the IP here in Korea. So explain them easily, step by step, what to do, how to do. And as I say, as I'm doing a bit of everything, the idea is at the end of the day, after the workshop or after each event we organize, does the entrepreneur or the startup learn something? Mission done, accomplished. If yes. 3 weeks ago, my colleague Jay organized a hackathon for foreign students. It was brilliant, very interesting. We bring judges or some ECVC, successful foreign entrepreneurs that make it here in Korea. So it's trying to convince partners that come, join, partner with us. But the main thing is, the more thing is sometimes I have to fight in my own side. I mean, I have to convince too many times the ministry to do that way, that it will work. Don't worry. You don't know foreigners. I know foreigners. So let's do it in our way. You will see it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be fine.
You're negotiating partnerships left and right, from anything from the Korean government to VCs to big tech to
it's
the
cool.
coffee machine as well.
Saying like, hey, come. So why the GSC and not another place? We are in Gangnam, the famous business district of Seoul. We are in the startup street in Yoksamaro, which is just, you cross the street, you have 3 VCs office. We have Korea Startup Forum also that organized the Come Up event, which is a startup exhibition. We have all the ecosystem at least here. And many associations like Women Business Angel Association. We have the Korean Business Angel Association here in the same building. I mean, all the ecosystem is here. And as I say to my colleagues here at the center, the team I manage, no need to recreate the wheel. Our partners are just across the street. Just open and come cross the street to talk to them. That's also what I do every day. To say, no need to call someone like from 3 hours from here, or we have the good guy just across the street too. The many universities, from each university here in Korea, also what is interesting is they have their startup division to support students, but also teachers. Once they have an idea or they create something at the lab of the university, they say, hey, it's good. Let's go patent it, and then you will create your startup, and we, university, we will help you funding it and giving you some mentorship. It's interesting because they have foreign students too that want to stay here in Korea, so we try to give them a hand.
The Global Startup Center is incredibly well connected, both from a location standpoint, also from a resources, across all the different types of organizations, from academic institutions to businesses to VCs. I think it's quite amazing what you guys have built, because I did get to participate in the Global Startup Center event last year. And you guys had a presentation by a startup founder from Korea, but also startup founders who are from foreign countries to share how they were able to establish these partnerships. And I think these insights are incredibly important, like learning from the people who have successfully navigated the market. And I think Korea is definitely starting to build that type of system, and the Global Startup Center definitely plays a very big role in that. I have 2 last questions left. The first one is, Clement, what kind of partnerships are you looking for right now? Who should reach out to you?
I'm more looking for Korean companies that are interesting to go abroad, and they need like some foreigners that we have to go with them on this journey to go abroad. Sometimes, okay, hi, I would like to go to India. I'm a telecom Korean company. I would like to go to India. how can I do it? First, meet our foreign entrepreneurs that have maybe a solution and their experience in this sector to help you to build a solution together and then bring it to India. Also, global companies like and Thales and Air Liquide, are French companies. I help them to join a program by the Korean government to do POC, proof of concept, and kind of open innovation. So I would like to have more foreign entities to source local startups. But Korean startup funded by Korean people, but Korean startups funded by foreigners too. So big companies, don't hesitate, reach us. Investment companies, VCs, come here at the center, explain your portfolio, explain what you are looking for, explain what you are not looking for. Because sometimes what you are not looking for is interesting because the startups will save his energy to not knock at your door or to avoid to knock at your door if you explain better what you do or what kind of startup you are looking for or not looking for.
That's great. Thank you so much, Clement. And thank you for sharing all the potentials that startup founders currently have within the Korean startup ecosystem. So for people who are interested, we will definitely leave the link for Global Startup Center and also Clement's LinkedIn, along with some other resources that he mentioned in this podcast. So thank you very much for joining us, Clement.